Okay, so the next common question that we're getting is about content. Okay, often we're getting questions about the length of content. Well, you control that. Okay, you control all of that. I can show you posts that are not that much content. I don't personally believe they need to be when we're doing mass page building, when we're targeting long tail keywords. I don't believe that we need long form content. And I think long form content is sort of not disappearing, but it's moving out. We're moving away from that trend where we've got lots of filler content and, there's long introductions and all that kind of stuff. You've got to remember the point of doing this, okay? We want to meet search intent. It's the number one thing. We want to meet search intent. Now, if you're busy and you're running a business and you come across something that's talking about local marketing workshops for AI marketing workshops, where it's hands-on training kind of thing, you think, oh, that's interesting. Do you want to go and read a 5,000 word article or even a 1,500 word article? No. You want something that's short, concise, gives you the information, a click to call button, or click there to fill into and to go through to a website and fill in a form and ask for a callback. Okay, that's what people want in the real world. Okay, I don't care what Google says. I really don't care. I've stopped listening to them years and years and years ago. We even stopped building backlink tools back in 2015. That's how long I've been away from the backlink stuff. Most of the SEO comes from your titles. It comes from the engagement. That's time spent on the site, etc. But if you are answering a question and people are clicking to get through to you to, fill in a form or click to call or something like that, that's all we need. Okay. That's all we need. So we don't need to give them any long-winded anything just because we think Google likes it. I couldn't give a shit for Google. We just give the people what they want. We do this with bulk pages. Okay. And, we will start to get traffic eventually because the way we're going to sculpt these campaigns with multiple microsites, etc. Okay. We'll be doing this in Patty. We will be doing this and I'll be getting calls. And, whoever's taking the calls, they will be able to tell people, well, we're going to run it once a week or once every 2 weeks or every month or whatever it might be. And we can go and charge people, like $500 or equivalent or even higher for a one-day workshop, maybe $1,000 for a 2-day workshop for per attendee. Okay, that's your bills paid for a whole month if you're doing that kind of stuff. And I highly recommend you try that. Okay, it's not hard to do. And also, when you're doing that, then you can have these kind of pages created, these kind of mini sites created, and also you can running ads to landing pages on your main site. Okay, and that works pretty well for local. That's what I used to do when I was in London. Okay, now. The length of content, I'm not worried, okay? If it turns out I've got 584 words and it's given all the information I needed to give, I'm okay with that, okay? I'm really okay with that. I'm going to have big, bold banners. I'm going to have a featured image. I might make a workflow on Napkin AI. I might do, various things, okay? So let's go and have a look at Napkin AI while we're here. Napkin, I'll show you how to use it. Napkin AI. Let's take some content. I'll show you this in a minute as well. Let's take some content from here, if it lets me. And that's not letting me. Okay, I'm just going to take all of this content here. This is from a 101 article, listicle thing. Okay, I'll take part of it because otherwise it just goes on for too long. This is from Magic Affiliate Commander. This one was created. I'll copy parts of that. Right, now, if I go into Napkin AI, just go and sign in. Sign in with Google. Come on, man, it's slow to load. Come on, I'm on a video. I should have done this before. Okay. Whenever I put any content in here, okay, you will see that we got this little blue thing here. And when I click on that, it's going to create a visual. And this visual is going to be something that is graphic, as in, it fits the content, okay? It can be part of your content. It's part of the story, okay? Instead of just like a featured image, it's talking about different things, okay? So we've got all these different articles all these different images that we can place around our articles, okay? You can put anything in here. You can put an offer in here. It's going to make something that's relevant, okay? And you can click on it. You can right click on it. You can save it as and put it on your computer. And then you can put it inside your articles, okay? That's how we can use Napkin AI. Now you can upload that into WordPress, and then you can get the link generated from being on your WordPress site, and you can put that in to the local traffic commando. Because when we're in, let's come here, when we're in the content generator, if we come down to the advanced options, well, we've got a place where we can put a featured image, okay? So if you upload it into your media folder inside WordPress, then it's published. Once it's there, you can grab the URL from there and you can use it in here, okay? So that's one way that we can do that, okay? Let me come back to remind myself what I was talking about, because I've already kind of forgot. Okay, length of content, yeah. So we can make our content a little bit longer and look nicer, but we can also put big, bold calls to action. You can even put advertising text into Napkin AI and see what it comes up with, okay? Or you can use some banner creators, or you can use GPT-4, or you can use a whole bunch of AI tools now that can generate, perfectly fine advertising kind of images, okay? So the length of the content, it shouldn't really be that long, in my opinion. If you want it longer, you've got complete control, absolute complete control. How? Well, you can go into your templates, etc. when you're in the content, and you've got all this stuff in here, and then you generate your templates. Well, you can add anything in here, okay? You can add anything. You can add extra text in here. You can even just take what's there, screenshot it, put it into ChatGPT and say, look, I'm using this tool and I want to make longer content, and it will generate longer content. If that's what you really want, you can do that, okay? You've got complete control. You control all of this, okay? Even though it's AI generated, it's up to you whether you accept it or not. You want to make it longer or shorter, okay? You got complete control. And now that we've got AI, you can use Claude, you can use Gemini, you can use ChatGPT. Just opening a new tab and say, I need longer, I need something more conversion focused, I need something more local focused, I need something more event focused, wherever it might be, okay? You got complete control, okay? So let's come back over here. So the content, the length, that's up to you. The templates, again, it's up to you. It's just some text where we fit in our shortcodes so that we've got our keywords strategically placed, okay? But you can put anything in those templates. You can get AI to help you to do that for each campaign. It won't take you more than 2 or 3 minutes, okay? You can make templates for specific content. So if I've got marketing events coming up every single month in such and such a hotel, or some convention center, or whatever it might be. Okay. When I was in London, it was in the basement of a pub. Not in any fancy hotel or convention centers. I just rented a basement of a pub where it was actually quite pleasant, and we could have like 10, 12 people in there. Whatever it might be, you can make your content specific to that one offer that you have recurring every single month, or that one offer that's always going to be there, and just create your content really specifically for that, okay? I showed you something very briefly there a second ago. Let me just come back to this. I wasn't actually going to show this for the purpose of this video, but we did create like a whole bunch of RLL listicle posts, okay, ridiculously long listicles, like 101 reasons to live and work in Thailand, for example, okay? And once we generated that, then I put it into Notebook LM, okay? And when I put it into Notebook LM, you will see some stuff down here that you can click on it, and it starts to create notes for you. And when it creates notes for you, what you can do is you can save to note, and then it appears over here, okay? And then you can go and see what other suggested questions pop up. And once you got that, then you can save to note, and you can make a whole collection of these here, okay? And then you can come over and you can generate an audio. And so the audio that we create, we can create an audio file. It's creating a podcast in Notebook LM. We can take that audio file, we can embed it into the post as well.
But just out to the suburbs, that can drop to like $240 to $600 a month.
Wow. Okay, that's a huge difference. And what about just daily stuff? Food, getting around?
Still incredibly affordable.
And so you can put something like that. It's really useful information. That might keep people longer on your site as well. But there's many things you can do with the content. You can spruce it up any way you want, okay? And there are plugins that will put audio, even your own audio files that you can embed in every single post, okay? Up to you, what you want to do. There's tons of stuff. You don't have to, stick to just what's being created with the software. You can take it further. If you want to take it further, train somebody to do it. Easiest way to do it. Get a kid who lives near you, maybe wants to make some extra money. The kids are brilliant with computers, okay? They're not in a faraway land. I've got 2 kids come here. I call them kids, 21 and 22 years old. I still call them kids. Well, they come here, they sit in a long table outside in my living room over here. And they've got 2 computers, okay? One is really good at creating images. And the other one, he just understands. He can even build no-code tools and custom GBTs by now. But he understands, the strategies and stuff like that. He just picked it up really naturally. And they sit there for about 4 hours every night, okay? And they do work for me. They're creating a whole bunch of mini sites with content hubs. And the content hub sites have now got these RLL posts, and the content hubs sites have now got 20 X and Y questions. And now what I'm going to do is I might get them to do maybe 5 articles for the local marketing that I can put maybe on a subdomain, for example. I might do something like that. But get someone to help you if you can. Okay. And that means that you can afford to make it better. Okay. I don't mean afford like monetarily, but if you got those extra resources, those extra pairs of hands to help you, then you can spend more time on the content. You don't have to rush it. As long as you're taking action a little bit forward every single day, that's the way I look at it. It took me a while to train them, but they can do a whole bunch of stuff now without me needing to watch them. I haven't even sat next to them for the past week. They've just got so used to doing what they do. Okay, and I can tell them to build a content hub. I can tell them to go and create listicle posts, X versus Y posts, and now I'm going to show them how to use this, and they can do a whole bunch of other stuff as well that I taught them without me having to watch them. And that means that can be done, and I can just have everything set up for them. And what they don't complete today, they start finishing that tomorrow. Okay, and when they finish that, I've got the next job lined up, and if I have to show them, I'll show them. And they're usually pretty good at picking it up, okay? It just means you can get better quality content. If that's what you're concerned about, you need to hire someone so that you can be thinking in bigger picture to be able to take things further, okay? Now, keywords, okay? This is going to come up a lot. What about the keywords we're going to use? Well, the keywords are going to be they're going to be built from the modifiers, the service types, the locations, and the end modifiers, okay? It's always going to be built from there. Now, if I come in here into the preview, okay, you can see I've got some examples here. Professional AI marketing workshop in Pattaya for small businesses. Is that a commercial intent keyword? Yes, of course it is, okay? If I take it further, let's see if I can find some other variations of that, okay? Now I can. Usually you got different modifiers in here, okay? Professional AI marketing workshop in Pattaya for startups. These are all by intent, all of them, by intent commercial keywords, okay? No matter what way you spin this, it's always going to come out by intent, which is why I created this strategy to begin with. Now, back then in 2011, 2012, when we built the first version, which was a WordPress plugin, I think we even sold it for just $17. Shameful, really, because the strategy was so good. We only used one modifier. Okay, we used the service type and the location. I added the 4th one. You don't have to use the 4th, the end modifier, but it just makes sense. And having a lot more experience, I think this makes sense. Okay, call out who it's for. Okay, and by calling out who it's for, then you're adding to the search intent. Okay, and you're adding to the buyer intent. Okay, so even if I didn't have that end modifier, professional AI workshop in Pattaya, professional AI marketing workshop in Pattaya, professional AI marketing workshop, it would be different locations, etc. Professional AI driven marketing workshop events in Pattaya. It's all commercial intent, all of it. It's all buyer intent. Okay, the buyer keywords, no matter what way you put it. So if you're wondering about the keywords, this is your keywords. Okay, when you're setting it up, when you're in the content tab, I should say, when you're setting this up, when you combine these, this is your keywords. It's elements of a buyer intent title, which is making buyer intent keyword phrases. Okay, long tail, but that's what we want. Now we want to do it in a way that we're using front end modifiers that people will actually be searching for. Okay, but that answers the question about keywords. Okay. And also you've got these GBTs that you can generate your own headlines. Okay. And so the GBT I showed you before, let's come over here, the spin text one. What if you wanted deeper content? You can ask it. Say, like, I need deeper content. Because this has got information about local traffic commando inside this GBT. Okay. So you can say, I need deeper content. And it's going to write deeper content for you. And you can say, I need longer content. I need deeper content. I'm going to need more conversion-focused content. Have a chat with ChatGPT and see what it comes up with. Okay, and you can take these and put that into your templates. This is your templates then if you want to do that. Okay, so you can make more pages, or you can just make deeper content or longer content if that's what you want, or more conversion-focused content, which is what I would suggest. Focus on conversion-focused content, not on the length of content. So that's it for content. I gave you some ideas there. If you want to take if you want to take things like the Notebook LM podcast and stick it in there, talking about your offer, you've got a great workshop, you've got a great offer for local business, or your local business client's got a great offer. It works. It works very, very well. We did a webinar once for a company in St. Louis in America. They flew us over from Europe. We were in a hotel for 2 weeks. They had something like, I think it was 52 different offices around the country. And we built 2 websites for each one of those. So it was like 100 something websites we built in 2 weeks. And I got the director and the CEO or whatever it was called, CFO, I can't remember, to sit and interview. And one of them was to take the question, one was to ask the questions, the other one was to answer the questions. And it was the most common questions their customers ask when they first approach them. Okay. And I know for a fact that they got some people purchasing franchises from them, that their franchises were worth more than 100,000 each. Okay, to buy a franchise, an office in specific cities. Okay, it helped them set up, give them all of the things they needed to run their staffing, recruitment companies, etc. And it works. So you can even do this with Notebook LM now, all done for you, and it sounds really good and it's interesting stuff as well. It just the more you put in there, the more information you use those little notes like I showed you. You can make really good content, and you can put that in there, and that can answer a lot of questions that people have got. Okay, so that's it for the content. Okay, I'll see you in the next video, and we'll talk about formatting your posts.